Gran Turismo Sport Career Mode. Again. Newsflash, douchebags. I like making thought-provoking videos that encourages discussions and debates with you very fine people, and today is no different. But friends, what I also like to do, for those of you who know me well, is create solutions to my own complaints, and today I will be doing just that. Now, a few days ago, as you know, I put out a video voicing my anger on Polyphony's decision to arrogantly dismiss and leave out the very thing that made us all enjoy Gran Turismo over the past 20 years or so: the single player offline career mode. Now, for many of you, it was the first time you had come across my channel, and as a very small, tiny little YouTuber, I had no idea it would generate as much interest as it did. In all honesty, I'm so grateful and thankful and humbled by all of you who took time out to watch, comment, and even more thankful for those of you who hit the like button. Now, after the video, I started to realise there are two problems which I and many of you have with this whole sorry ordeal. The lack of career mode obviously being one of them, and the price point. So I have three solutions below which I think the folk over at Polyphony should have done, and in some cases can still do, to fix this situation. So, starting off with number one, price point. Okay, listen, there are a small group of you who, even in the knowledge of not having that fully fledged offline single player career mode, still feel the game is good enough to go out and spend your money on. I have no beef with that. I am not here to tell you what you should and shouldn't buy, as whatever makes you happy is what should always be at the forefront of your decision making. The only thing I do is shed light on dark situations and provide facts to people who sometimes don't realise certain things. So here we go. Fact. Project Cars 2 and to an extent Forza Motorsport 7 will give you more value for your money than Gran Turismo Sport by way of more cars, more tracks, an online multiplayer esports section like GT Sport, but unlike Gran Turismo Sport, both will have fully fledged single player career modes as well. Fact. As you can see by the on-screen images, Gran Turismo Sport, although offering you less content, are charging you the same price as its rivals. Now, if you moved into a small apartment and decided you wanted to go and buy a single bed, if you got to the store and found the single bed was priced at £200 or dollars, but then saw the exact same bed in double or king size for the same price, would you feel comfortable putting your hand in your pocket? No, you probably assume it was a pricing error and question the store manager. I'm assuming this is a pricing error, and I'm questioning Polyphony. Listen, it's quite simple. Reduce the recommended retail price. This for me is the most obvious, sensible and logical answer to this situation. Gran Turismo Sport is priced at $60 in the US and £50 across the pond here in the UK. It's really easy. You make half a game, give it to me for half the price. Alternatively, why don't you offer it to people as free to play and only charge for the in-game season pass and other paid DLC, meaning people can have more control over what they want content wise and also more control over their expenditure. Right, so moving on. Number two, how about just forgetting GT Sport altogether and give fans what they really want? A full, fat, uncompromising, fully fledged Gran Turismo 7 with a full single player offline experience like you have done in previous games, and the online career esports side of things as well. Now, I've been responding to you guys in the comments section and having some really great discussions on the first video, and some of you stated that this is in fact a prologue style game, sort of like a sequel to GT Prologue. Now, I get this, I understand, but let me ask you some questions. When was the last proper Gran Turismo game release, please? I'll tell you, December 2013. Gran Turismo 6 was released in December 2013. That's nearly 4 years ago. So you're happy to have waited 4 years for a light version as the next installment? Yeah, I thought not. Listen, people get from first year college or university to graduation in quicker time. It's ridiculous. A president would serve his full first term in office in that space of time. Now, I know exactly what's coming from some people. Yeah, well, it won't be that long until Gran Turismo 7 comes out. Ooh. Okay, let's explore this potential response. If you paid $60 for Gran Turismo Sport and then Polyphony released Gran Turismo 7 within 18 months, you would be that same person who jumps onto social media screaming daylight robbery and how they jerked cash out of you. So let's look at it from the other end of the stick. More game content does not necessarily mean a better game, but what it does do is provide more options and opportunities for you, the gamer, which increases your playtime, breeds replayability and longevity. Now you see that word there, longevity? Hold it in your head. If it took them 4 years to develop Gran Turismo Sport, which yes has brilliant visuals, updated physics and in-car audio, but is still fundamentally lacking in cars, track lists and a fully fledged offline single player career, if it took them 4 years to produce that, how long will it take for them to finish Gran Turismo 7? So let's assume it's 3 to 4 years. So we're talking potentially 8 years between Gran Turismo 6 and Gran Turismo 7. About the same time as 2 Olympics or 2 footballing World Cups. If it did take them 3 to 4 years to make Gran Turismo 7, is there enough content in Gran Turismo Sport to keep you playing until potentially 2020 and beyond? Yeah, I thought not. Look, if they release Gran Turismo 7 soon after Gran Turismo Sport, you've been jerked out of your cash. If they take another few years to make Gran Turismo 7, you're starved of anything with longevity in the interim. It's bad however you paint the picture, guys, it's bad. You guys are all fans of racing games like me, so you don't need me to tell you that we have to wait longer than most other gaming communities for decent titles. There are only a few major titles out there and most are released on a 2 to 3 year cycle, so it's really important that when a new racing game does come out that it survives the test of time until the next iteration is released. They have to keep you entertained and playing in the long run. And for this reason, I would have completely trashed the Gran Turismo Sport idea and focused all time and resources into Gran Turismo 7. Now I understand that there could have been budget restrictions which may have affected their decision making, but this is Gran Turismo, a premium AAA title. It would have and still will produce big sales numbers regardless. And finally, option number 3. Keep the game as it is, keep it the same, don't change it, keep the price as it is, forget about adding a single player career mode, but move the game back to a 2018 release. Hear me out. In terms of sim or simcade based offerings, there will be nothing to compete with in 2018. Forza are more than likely to release Horizon 4 and Ivory Tower will be giving us a second helping of The Crew in the form of The Crew 2. But as I mentioned, neither of them are in the same lane as Gran Turismo Sport, being that they are arcade, or as some people call them, action-based racers. With Forza Motorsport 7 and Project Cars 2 both being a year old by that point, and the hype train surrounding both games settling, that will be the best time to release a game that offers only half of what its chief rivals offer for the same price. People will be less likely to compare it value-wise, as the festivities of it being fresh and new, coupled with it being the only major sim-style release that year, would give it crucial leeway and breathing space to be looked at in a more forgiving light. And that just about rounds things off for this discussion, folks. So once again, if you agree with either point 1, point number 2 or point number 3 in terms of the suggestions I've provided, hit the like button and let me know. Or even better, if you've got your own suggestion, if you've got your own option or view on this, on how this situation could be bettered, then please, once again, I massively invite you to share your comments below. I wasn't expecting to be making a second video talking about this, but the response from the first video was so high, I thought, you know what, I have to. Also, let me know if there are any other discussion based videos you want me to talk about in relation to any of the racing titles that are coming out. Now I'm going to ask for one favour. If you guys could please just check out the previous episode of the AutoBOURNE magazine, which is a quick head-to-head showdown. What I'm looking for is just feedback on the style upon which I've presented it and whether or not it's something that you guys like, because it is a series that I've been running for a little while now and I'm trying to push it forward as much as possible. So I'll leave the link to that in the description box, and I'll also leave all the links to all the other discussion videos we've had covering Project Cars 2, Gran Turismo Sport, Forza Motorsport 7, Need for Speed, Payback, The Crew 2, you name it, we've spoken about it as part of the Bourne Opinion playlist. If it's your first time around here, I wish you a Bourne welcome. Hit the subscribe button and turn notifications on for the next discussion or video. And I'll see you when the next video comes out. Peace. Do you like car reviews? Do you check out power tests? Are you a fan of head-to-head showdowns? How about having them all tied together in one convenient place? Welcome to the AutoBOURNE magazine, your one-stop shop for all of the above, presented on a weekly basis with quality content, clean-cut commentary and cars to suit everyone's pocket. What happened when the 370Z went up against the original 240? Was the American muscle car misunderstood by the British? Should you buy the brilliantly stupid John Cooper Works Mini? All questions and more will be answered as part of the AutoBOURNE magazine. Check it out now.